Welcome to Satellite TV News. You're watching the News Hour with Angus Scott in London. It's Thursday, the 11th of May. These are the main headlines from around the world. Tens of thousands expected at the US-Mexico border as COVID-era rules expire today. 400 rockets batter Israel overnight as Israeli forces respond with raids on Gaza militants as violence escalates. The US president and his family accused of earning over $10 million in shady deals whilst vice president. 15 children drown in boat tragedy in Nigeria. And the first baby is born with 3 parents, announced in the UK. Welcome to the News Hour. These are today's main stories in detail. Pandemic-era rules that have prevented migrants from claiming asylum at the United States southern border expire today, with tens of thousands of people expected to make their case over the coming weeks, further inflaming America's already heated immigration debate. Troops and National Guardsmen have been sent to help border control officers handle an expected surge of mainly poor people seeking refuge in the world's wealthiest country. For more than 3 years, the 2,000-mile frontier with Mexico has been all but closed under Title 42, a health provision designed to keep infection at bay that allowed border guards to turn people away before they made a claim for asylum. But with the formal ending of the COVID emergency, normal service is set to resume at the stroke of midnight in the US capital. Israel's army and Gaza militants traded heavy cross-border fire overnight, with at least 22 Palestinians killed over 2 days in the worst escalation of violence in months. Sirens in the Tel Aviv area and Israel's south sounded as over 400 rockets were launched from Gaza in 24 hours. Egypt is currently working on a possible truce with the militant group Islamic Jihad. The group said one of its military leaders had been killed in a pre-dawn strike this morning by Israeli forces, and confirmed that Palestinian resistance was keeping up its fire.
يعني فيه هو قلق عام والناس كلها قلقانة، حتى مش شايف انت ناس في الشارع كتير، واكيد يعني بحس انه ممكن يكون في حرب جاية او يعني في توتر بس كان عندنا ولا عند اليهود برضه نفس القصة، بسمع انهم خوفين يعني.
The latest violence brings to 132 the number of Palestinians killed in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict so far this year. The escalation has come against the backdrop of Israel's biggest domestic crisis in decades, around now-shelved judicial reforms proposed by the government of Netanyahu, who is himself on trial for corruption that he denies. President Joe Biden has been accused of earning more than $10 million for his family from shady business deals crafted while he was vice president. The House Oversight Committee have claimed the Bidens took in $1 million tied to a business deal with a Romanian tycoon when the then vice president oversaw relations with the country in 2014. This pattern matched that of an already well-reported business deal his son, Hunter Biden, had with an energy company in China. Biden has repeatedly denied impropriety with regard to his son's deals and defended Hunter's business practices. A defiant Donald Trump made a rare live appearance on longtime adversary CNN overnight, repeating his claims about the 2020 election, hurling insults and mocking a former magazine columnist he was found liable of sexually abusing and defaming. During an abrasive 1-hour town hall on the cable television network that he regularly denounced as fake news while in the White House, he took questions on a broad range of subjects, including the war in Ukraine, the debt limit, immigration, and his multiple legal challenges. He reiterated his claim of a rigged election and expressed suspicion about the potential honesty of next year's election. 15 children have drowned and 25 others missing after their overloaded boat capsized on a river in northwest Nigeria. The children were on the Shagari River crossing to collect firewood when the boat sank. 15 bodies, 13 girls and 2 boys, have been recovered by local rescue teams. River accidents are frequent in Nigeria, often caused by overloading, poor maintenance, heavy flooding in rainy season, and disregard of safety regulations. Nigeria's Waterways Authority has tried to ban nighttime sailing on rivers to stop accidents, and overloading vessels is a criminal offence, but skippers and crews often flout the rules. A third blast in less than a week has shaken the area around the Sikh holy site of the Golden Temple in Amritsar. No injuries were reported in what police described as a low-intensity blast at around midnight in the northern Indian city. The cause was not known. The previous two blasts, one on Monday and the first last weekend, each left one person injured. Police have yet to reveal any cause for those explosions. The Golden Temple in Punjab state, a gleaming edifice in a large artificial pond, is revered by Sikhs the world over. Australia's Black Summer bushfire catastrophe produced so much smoke it may have fueled the global onset of La Niña in 2020. New research claims the bushfires were exceptional in their severity, pumping out emissions on a scale similar to a major volcanic eruption. It suggested this led to the formation of vast banks of cloud over the southeastern Pacific Ocean, which soaked up radiation from the sun and led to the cooling of surface water temperatures, triggering the start of an unusually long La Niña weather pattern. Global weather patterns oscillate between cooling La Niña and warming El Niño cycles, with neutral conditions in between. US President Joe Biden will host India's Narendra Modi in June as Washington courts New Delhi as a bulwark against China. The state visit, the highest level of diplomatic reception, will boost the US and India's shared commitment to a free, open, prosperous and secure Indo-Pacific, the White House said. The invitation comes despite rising concerns about human rights and democratic backsliding under Modi's Hindu nationalist leadership in India, the world's most populous nation. Washington has long sought to boost India as a counter-influence to an increasingly assertive China in Asia. And New Delhi, worried about Beijing's build-up on the other side of its border, has also sought to build ties. Google has announced that it is opening Bard, its rival to Microsoft-backed ChatGPT, to 180 countries, as it expands use of artificial intelligence across its platform. Executives at the annual Google Developers Conference in Silicon Valley said that generative AI will also be used to supercharge the tech giant's leading search engine. Google is racing to catch up with rival Microsoft, which has rushed to integrate ChatGPT-like powers in a wide array of its products, including the Bing search engine. The growth of AI comes as regulators are considering controlling development to contain AI's potential risk to humanity. And finally, the first children to be created from 3 parents have been born in the UK. Using an experimental technique combining DNA from 3 people, the method is designed to prevent children from inheriting rare genetic diseases. Fewer than 5 babies have been born this way, but no details have been given to protect the family's identities. Critics have warned that tweaking genetic codes in fertilization could be a slippery slope that eventually leads to designer babies for parents who not only want to avoid inherited diseases, but to have taller, stronger, smarter, or even better-looking children. You've been watching the news hour on Satellite TV, and you can find more stories in detail on our channel SatNet News. So it's worth clicking on that subscribe button to make sure you get to see stories as they're broadcast. And don't forget, if you have any comments or opinions on any of our news stories, you can comment below or drop us a direct message at message@satellitetv.com, and we would love to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching. For Satellite TV News, I'm Angus Scott in London.